Hello and welcome to another episode of Witchcrafting with Ancient Arts. Today I want to show you how to make your own Ouija planchette kind of occult style bag. You can also use that technique with t-shirts or any kind of fabrics, but I chose to do a bag today, and we are using a Silhouette Portrait 3 to get there. Okay, the first thing you want to do is get a nice design for your bag, and I get my designs from Etsy. So I support artists that want to share their work, and what I did there is I just typed in planchette SVG, and I right away got this beautiful design that I purchased, and this is what we're going to use for our bag. You can actually take whatever SVG you like and get the files for that. After that, what we're going to do is go to Silhouette and go on design, and I already did that, but you just have to drag and drop your design that you purchased in there. And one thing is very important. You go to object, you go to mirroring. This is in Deutsch spiegeln, but in English it will say mirror and then horizontal mirror. And as you can see, normally it would look like this so that you can read it. But if you are printing on heat transfer vinyl, you have to mirror the image so that we have it the right side around once we press it on. Okay, what you see here is my Silhouette Portrait 3, and it is at work. I just put the material that I wanted to use for the transfer to the back on a cutting mat and then inserted it into the machine. The material is heat transfer vinyl, and we can press it on later with a heat press so it will stick to the textile that we're using. You can see probably a few lines where the machine is cutting. I know it's hard to see them. You will see them later. You will see them much better once it is done. Here a little close up so you know what's happening. Okay, so let me walk through what I'm doing here. This is the finished cutout from Silhouette. You can already see the lines where it cut the design. We have to peel it now from the cutting mat, and then you can see very clearly where we have to peel off the heat transfer foil that we don't need so that we can have the finished design for our project. So what I'm doing now is taking a sharp tool. I just take a sharp cutting knife, and I'm starting at the edge, and now I'm peeling off the excess material that we don't need. And this is actually a very satisfying part because it just feels really nice to peel off that material. So enjoy that part. So there is a point where the blade didn't cut all through, but that's not that much of a problem. My blade is kind of oldish and a little dull, so I just took the exacto knife and went over the lines that didn't get cut so that we can still use this design and don't have to cut it again. If you're having trouble with your blade, you can always go to that method, and you just need a steady hand and it will be fine. So as you can see here, that works pretty good.
24 hours later.
Okay, and now I am almost ready. You see that I peeled off all the little parts that we don't want to heat transfer to the fabric of the bag. which means that I went with the exacto knife into all the small spots and peeled them out. And now we have a beautiful finished design. And now we have a beautiful finished design that we can heat transfer to our bag. Okay, speaking of the bag, there it is. And here I put my design on the bag, press it down, and I'm just making sure it is centered and putting a little bit of textile over it. When I put the heat press on, I want to make sure that the plastic of the heat transfer foil is not melting into the design, so I do that for protection, and then I go ahead. I set the heat press to 150 degrees Celsius, and I do it for like 3 minutes while pressing very firmly and moving the heat press a little around. So I press that on really firm, and now I'm checking if I can already peel. I always would do this on one side. This is not sticking to the fabric already, so I'm again pressing firmly and putting some more heat on. Shaky, shaky. Oh my god, you can see the camera shaking from all the force I'm using here. So after that, I just let it cool down a little bit, because it's much better to peel it off when it's a little cold. Just checking for the heat. Yeah, that seems fine. And then I am going to start peeling at the upper side, and this seems perfect. Now it's sticking on fine, and you can see the beautiful finished design. Okay, my friends, and that's it. In no time you get yourself a beautiful new bag, Ouija Style, and I hope you like the tutorial. If you have any questions concerning the heat transfer foil or the heat press that I have, or even the plotter, then feel free to ask me. I will link the products I used down below, and I hope you like this tutorial. Please comment below if you want to see a special design, or if you're interested in me showing you something that you would like to try yourself. So for now, I say bye and hope you will tune in next week. Ciao!